We don't normally do camera installations, but today we're working on installing a 19 camera security system for one of our internet clients. There's going to be bullet cameras, some dome cameras, and some PTZ cameras. It's going to give this metalworking shop a complete overview of their interior and exterior doors for security and monitoring. Come check it out. So initial consult with the customer, we walked through the facility with them to figure out where they needed camera coverage, and then figured out a plan to get that coverage depending on which cameras to use, where the switches are located, and where we need to route the cables. Once we had a network design as far as where the cameras need to be, we are now installing the camera itself, and then the cabling that runs from that camera back to the closest switch. So it starts with installing the mounting plate for the camera. The camera goes on that. We connect the data cable to it and then route it back to the switch. Once it gets network connectivity, we just adopt it to the system and the camera's online. We're using a Ubiquiti line of cameras for this deployment. We have the new G6 Pro, G6 Bullet, and that's the majority of the cameras. There's about 17 of these going on the site, and then we have a handful of the Gen 5 PTZ cameras from Ubiquiti as well. There, a couple of these are going in just some areas that we need to give the client some versatility on what they record. So we're getting all the Bullet cameras installed first. They're the ones mainly going on the outside of the building, covering all the doors, the driveways, and then the PTZs are going inside so they can have a good select area of the shop covered. These come broken down. They have all the mounting hardware in them. We just assemble them, wire them, plug them in, and the cloud controller is already connected and online in their network rack in the office. And once they come online, we just adopt them, name them where they are, and we're good to go. With the Ubiquiti G6 Bullet cameras, which is what we've chosen to go with for most of the cameras on this site, they have a pretty small mounting side of them. So what we did is we went with their junction box that you can buy, and this actually mounts right to the wall, and you screw it in the back, mounts to the wall, your cable runs through the back, and then there's this adapter plate that goes on the front, and that clips on, and then you have mounting screws for the camera itself. So it just gives you a lot more security on the wall and mounting options, because it's a lot easier to mount this than a little camera back. And then it's just a secured tight box, and it looks a lot cleaner too on the client side. The camera itself, pretty straightforward. It comes in a nice fancy box. There's a million parts for them. This is the Bullet cam itself, so it's a pretty small unit. Your Ethernet just plugs straight into the back of it. Then you have the ball mount that screws onto the box, just like that. Your camera goes on top, and that's your rig. Pretty straightforward. The best part about these is that they're white, and we're working in a machine shop, so they aren't white for very long. So that mounting bracket goes on. You have your cable grommet that goes in the back to keep it watertight. This screws right onto there. Camera goes on. And then that goes on the box. And that's the setup. This business has a kind of unique setup because they have two different buildings across the street from each other. The way we design the network is the primary connection comes into this building, into their offices, and then we have a 60 gigahertz wireless link bridging between the two sites, and they all act as one. So anybody working in the shop across the street, their engineers, their designers, they can all operate off of the central server in this building, and it all acts as the same network. As well, when you travel between this building and the other building, the whole Wi-Fi system is all the same. So their devices roam over there, connect to that Wi-Fi and back to this site. So it's just seamless for any of the employees working on either side. And then as well as the camera system that we're installing, it all just trunks back to this building, and it acts as one network. We could bump it over a little bit, but there's not really much interesting over here. So we'll just move it over a hair and turn it. So it covers most of the inside.
Give me some pan action.
What do you want to see?
Yeah. Sick. Joystick that baby around.
So we got the main building all wired up. cameras installed. Now we're just over at the secondary site here, and this is the one that's connected by a wireless bridge from the main office. So it trunks down into their main network rack here. It's not pretty, it's not very big. You don't really need a whole lot of hardware at this site, and this is where all the drops for all the lasers and other equipment in their shop in this secondary location patches back into. So the engineers that are working in here have direct access to the server across the street, as well as the lasers and shop devices have access over there too. So this is their primary connection for all those devices. So all the cameras that are on site, as well as the Wi-Fi access points, they're all PoE powered. So they all come back and terminate directly into this 48 port switch right here. And that's what powers them and gives them network connectivity. So it's all run from a single point and on UPS power, so they'll stay up even during an outage. We're all wrapped up installing the camera system here. If anybody has questions about the Ubiquiti camera systems, network switches, access points, leave us a comment, shoot us a message, and we're happy to chat about it more.